Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Guys, it's been so crazy. We're getting ready for BravoCon. Yesterday, we were like trying to shop, get ready for BravoCon. It has been nonstop. And honestly, like I was asking Jason this morning, I was like, when are we going to maybe sleep at all? And he's like, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for it. There's so much stuff that's coming up. And when it comes to BravoCon, it's sort of like our Super Bowl. So we get to prepare for it one time a year. And last year we didn't even get it. So this year is very, very important. But we're going to be leaving on Wednesday. We were at one point really afraid about what our flights look like due to the government shutdown. However, now the government is not going to be shut down, but that could still take a week, according to a few people that I've talked to. I'm just like hopeful. I'm like, if I even have to get a rental car, I will get a rental car. I don't want to, though. Let me say that. No rental cars. But with that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. We're going to talk about some members. We're going to talk about BravoCon, Denise Richards, Tamra Judge, Dr. Wendy Osefo, BravoCon, like the panels you should or should not go to, or the ones that you should be paying attention to. And Krissy Balls, do you guys remember her? She came on my channel and she totally just gave us like a new insight into the Luis Ruelas disturbing video. So yeah, here we go. Let us know in the live chat where you're watching from. Hello.
Hi, happy Monday.
Oh my God. You know what's so crazy? I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning again.
I don't know. You know what's crazy is I think now it's like, you know, we have been traveling so much and you know, feeling better from being sick, and then all of a sudden we have to go again. We have no time. But
well, I feel like we're like a little discombobulated a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just like nonstop. But also it's like the best thing, you know, I was talking to my brother about this and my brother was like, shut the fuck up with that. Like, you guys have the best jobs ever. And
I mean,
like,
he's not wrong.
We do. We have the best jobs. Like, we love what we do. But, you know, also the human body needs sleep. And I don't know what the fuck is going on. Sometimes we're just like a little tired, but we still push through.
You know, the thing is I think right now it's not even, it's kind of like, okay, I want to recoup sleep, but I just want to fucking get there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so excited because like you said, we had that time off. We had that year off of BravoCon. This only happens once in a blue moon. And now it's time. I am hopeful, guys. I don't know who's flying around right now, but like, we do connect to go to Vegas, and our connection is in a hub, but not one of the ones that's been like in the red lately. So pray for us. We will get there, though.
I mean, and then
we will get there.
We were talking about this, you guys. Let's just lead in with BravoCon. Can we?
Oh, God.
We were talking about this. You know, it's funny because we're staying at the same hotel as like the majority of the talent. The talent, though, here's how this works. They get rooms assigned to them, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna necessarily like stay in that room. And a lot of times they leave the room, especially Real Housewives of Dubai. Like, they definitely leave the room.
They do. Okay, it's not even they leave the room. The Real Housewives of Dubai never stayed in the hotel that was given to them by.
It was the Gansevoort. It's like so nice.
I know. So they're like, here's the 4 seasons. I think Caroline was it. She was the one. She's like, the full seasons. I'm not a teenager. And I'm like, what?
She was
I'll
like,
stay there, girl. Like
Equinox. I'm going to Equinox.
Beautiful hotel. But they all stay at all these other ones. What are we talking about even right now?
Well, no. What I was going to say is, you know, we're staying in the same hotel with everybody. So it's going to be very interesting because a lot of people, you know, on our last week's live on Friday, they're asking, you know, like, are you afraid to see certain people? Are you afraid to, you know, like bump into people? And I'm like, guys, you have no idea. There's one hotel lobby with one hotel bar. That's where everybody congregates. And we're staying at the same hotel, meaning we're going to be running into every fucking person that's out there. So this will be interesting. Can't wait.
Buddy, I hope you're not next to someone who's like, you know, trying to like sleep in from the night before at BravoCon, and all of a sudden next door, they're like, what is happening next door? It's like, hi. It's Adam. Can you imagine like talents like right next door, like banging on the door, like, motherfucker, be quiet.
I have a pretty good idea, and I'll share this on members who we're going to be like rooming in between. I think I know who's on one side and who's on the other side. Just to give you guys insight, I'll give you a tease. They're both currently on Bravo shows right now, but we're all staying on the same floor, under the same sort of like condition. You'll see.
You have the same PR. So like, of course you are.
Join members only, because this is going to be such a shit show. And Jason ended up doing a write-up talking about the panels that you should go to, or maybe that you shouldn't. And it's funny because after Jason did a write-up, I saw a bunch of content creators also doing their own sort of TikToks or videos. And it's not like Jason didn't pave the way of saying like, this is the panel you should go to. So I'm not saying
to me,
as if we're like important, you know?
Adam, it's obvious. It's like, this is the panel I would go to. This is the panel I would skip. Why would I go to the Southern Hospitality panel when I can go to the Beverly Hills panel? You know what I mean? It's just like, of course, like everyone's going to look for the big panels, but like I put the ones that I think would be the best. And then I also put like in between, there's so much to do. There's so many interactive things at BravoCon. Like, you know, interactive fan things that you guys can do. There are great drinks. There's a whole
like the
bazaar.
Bravo Museum.
The Bravo Museum. You have the bazaar.
I've never been to the Bravo Museum.
Well, you should go.
I mean, I should. Not like I haven't seen all the shit before, but like, no, I've never been. And you know what I never realized, Jason? Because I never actually, and guys, I'm going to sound like such an asshole. I always just like hang out with the talent and like go see people and see them in between their panels. And so I like kind of like operate in that way, that I usually don't go to panels. If I go to a panel, it's because Emily D. Baker is dragging me to a panel. And she's like, well, I have to
listen,
see this.
there are a few that you should go to for sure.
Well, I always just look at it like it's going to be on page 6. It's going to be on Watch What Happens Live. Like we're going to know, especially because when you have the panels, the main takeaways are going to be pulled for like these major media outlets. So I'm like, instead of me sitting there in the panel, fighting people for a seat, fighting these lines, like I'll just go hang out with like the people that I don't get to see all year. And then I will go back and kind of get the main takeaways, and then I'll like cross-reference them with the people who apparently or allegedly said them.
But this is you, Adam. Let's
yeah,
talk
well,
about
no, I know.
the people, people who are actually going where they should go, because that's all fun and fluffy, but not a lot of people get to do what you get to do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it in that way. Just in case you guys did not see, Jason ended up doing a whole write-up for BravoCon, and if you guys are not aware, it was on upandadamlive.com. So you would have to just search up at this point BravoCon, because we've had a lot more content come up on the page.
It's featured, so you can like on our featured articles, like right there on the front page, you can go see that there.
But all right, so let's start from Friday. Where are we going, Jason?
Oh, well, from Friday, guys, and I wrote the article, so I had to throw in my like fun fan photos. Like I fangirled over Captain Sandy. But no, Friday, listen, so easy. You know, it's the first day of BravoCon, so you really want to kick off BravoCon with something fun, right? So you have Peaks and Valleys, Peaks in the Valley, which is the Valley Cast, season 3 Valley Cast, which just wrapped filming. You guys know that we have Vanderpump Rules coming out at the beginning of December, and at the beginning of the year, we'll have the Valley come out. So this is a good opportunity to see where the cast lies right now. I think that would be fun. Also, I put on that first day, Potomac takes Vegas. They're celebrating 10 seasons. That's probably why they've added Karen Huger and Wendy Osefo, even with everything going on. That's probably why they're going to have them there.
What are your thoughts really quick before we move on? The fact that I actually confirmed with one of the housewives. I said, listen, at the end of the day, like I kept saying on my channel that there's no way that they're going to have Dr. Wendy Osefo.
You wouldn't think.
This particular housewife, who, guys, this is a West Coast housewife. She said to me, she was like, no, she's there. I talked to her. She's coming. And I was like, what? And then they added Karen Huger and Monique Samuels. Oh my God.
I know. I mean, like 10 years, right? I think this is actually a great opportunity, because we've talked about this and kind of how unfair things are when it comes to like, okay, Teresa got to film all the way up till she went to jail. You know what I mean? We still don't know what's happening with Wendy. There are, I mean,
innocent until proven guilty, right?
100%. But then also at the same time, it doesn't look like we're missing much, but we could be missing some information. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they might know better. And then listen, Shannon was there like right after her DUI. So why can't Karen come? again, it's been 10 years of the Housewives of Potomac. And
Yeah.
now with Monique coming back and everything, I think this is going to be a really good panel to come to. You know, at this point, I mean, with Wendy being there and Karen being there, I can only imagine what some of the questions would be coming from the audience. And they're going to have to answer them because it happens live. So,
well, and it's not only that. If you're going to be there, you guys, it's not just that they're obligated to the panel. They're obligated to watch what happens live, which means
yeah.
you guys know that Bravo, NBC, Watch What Happens Live, they are so fucking shady. If you guys don't remember, like, just to be on brand with Real Housewives of Potomac, when they were talking about Stacey Rusch's hot breath, they made a whole game about her hot breath on the show.
Shady.
Like, they are so shady. So there's nothing, you sign a contract saying that you're just available and open to discussing whatever comes your way, and hopefully nothing legal comes your way. But when it does, yeah, you're in the hot seat. So having Giselle Bryant, who has publicly obliterated Dr. Wendy, publicly like feuded with Karen Huger for a long time, having Stacey, who just admitted to having dates with Chris Samuels. We went out with Chris and Monique when we lived in Palm Beach. We went out to a cigar bar twice. And then what was it? What was that restaurant? The top of
the Bend. That newer hotel in West Palm.
Yeah, like off of Clematis, which was so much fun. We got to meet Monique's family. My point is like both of them are amazing, but also Monique is not somebody to play with. Ever. Let me just say
I know.
that. Like,
to be honest,
I was gonna say when the staff was rude to her, because they were rude to her. Like from the minute that she walked in, they didn't know like she was a housewife or anything. And I mean, I walked in right behind her, so did Jason on the right off the elevator, and they were very like dismissive, like, excuse me, you stand over there. It was just very rude. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Here we go. Yeah, not the one.
No, definitely not. I think it'll be nice to have her back in the mix for the panel, though, and see kind of where she fits. It almost makes sense to bring her back as a full-time housewife.
Well, I think that the only reason, if you think about it, I think the only reason that she's not a full-time housewife this season is because she's not coming back until this week.
Yeah.
I think it's too late in the season. You know what I mean?
Of course. I think, you know, if this had happened earlier, they could have made some changes, but absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. So then after that, Jason, go ahead.
Matt, you cannot miss anything with Andy, especially Ask Andy. He's doing, I think, 2 panels, one with Jeff Lewis and one by himself. So this one with Jeff Lewis is kind of where things get really chaotic, you know, because Jeff loves to egg Andy on. They're going to be taking questions right and left. This is something I wouldn't miss. Then I put after like the panel Living in Beverly Hills. Right. Rachel Zoe is a new cast member. You kind of get a preview of like what the cast looks like together.
That'll be cool.
Kind of their dynamics, you know, and what they look like now. Because those Beverly Hills women, they look different every season. It's like, wait, who are you? Oh my God, you're Dorit. I forgot. Shit. You know? So, you know, it gives you a chance to see their face in its current state.
I'm going to say, you know, people sit there and pick on Shannon Bedore, like when they were making fun of like her having like the double Spanx and like feeling like, you know, Emily was saying like, well, when she hooks up with a guy, like, what do they pull down the Spanx and she pops out like a biscuit? I'm like, you see her last year after the DUI and she was tiny. And then, you know, you see her on the show and you can tell like there's like a weight shift. And I'm like, if I've ever just resonated with anybody, like
it's Shannon.
Shannon, I got you, girl. Because I look back at some photos of me going to BravoCon and I'm like, and people are like, are you on Ozempic? And other times like this time I'm like, I'm happy. So I'm just like, maybe I'm like the can of biscuits that's like about to pop out. I don't know. I'm making fun of myself, but you know, anyways.
Geez. You know, and there's a lot. The thing is, yeah. And then I would finish the first day. I mean, this is such a great first day, if you ask me. I mean, from the Valley to Potomac, especially with everything happening with Potomac, to Andy to Beverly Hills, and then you can wrap up the day with all the captains of Below Deck. Yeah, it's going to be really. It's going to be great. And you can see the cast. I think they're going to preview some of Below Deck Down Under, which is going to be great. But the thing is there is time. These panels aren't very long. You know, I think the longest one is like 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. Right. So It's just a great opportunity to go. And then in between all these things, again, you can do the interactive things. They have bars galore, of course. It's going to be really good. But the second day, you love how I throw in all my little photos with people like Captain Sandy and Talene. I'm like fangirling.
I'm just going to throw it. Yeah, no, I love that. And poor Talene, we're not going to. So guys, as far as like Dubai this year, you're only going to see, not only as if it's like lackluster, but you're going to see Caroline Stanbury and also
only
Chanel
Caroline
Ion.
Stanbury.
But what I was going to say is when you guys go to the panels, the thing is that they have all of the bars and they have like the seating and kind of, it's sort of like first come first serve, unless you have like the VVIP tickets, and then they sanction it off. Did I use that right? Sanction?
Yeah, the sanctions.
Yeah. So they sanction it off.
The stanchions.
Sorry. Stanchions. So they stanchion it off, and that's the VVIP, and then the rest of, like, if you're just like general admission, which is still so much money, you guys. So, and you still see the same thing because they have massive screens on both sides.
I don't understand like some of the VIP things. I mean, I do, because it is worth it, for the people who do it. But at the same time, if you're getting a general admission ticket and you're going, right, you still get such a full experience because, like I said, the interactive things, the bars, the bazaar, you get to see everybody. There's the talent is walking everywhere all the time. You know what I mean?
VIP though, what that offers people is like there are like at least 3 or 4 different rooms that the VVIP get to go in, and they kind of circulate like the different Bravo talent out where they have like a red carpet and a step and repeat, and they'll bring in like, I don't know, Southern Charm. And then, like in the next hour, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But at the same time, they're passing out crab cake, like hors d'oeuvres and drinks. The drinks are free. They give you goodie bags. Then you get to go and see like the PR stuff. So you do pay for that. They give you something else. And then when you go to the panels, it is specialized seating as long as there is enough seating. Because if you make it there last minute and you're like, oh my God, well, I'm in the bazaar and I just bought this thing, and like this next panel is at 12 o'clock and it's 11:55. Good luck. You just turned your ticket into like general admission for sure.
Yeah,
like you're not getting
100%. But like the second day, I think this is a great day too. And then like I'm revisiting this because I wrote this like 2 weeks ago when all the schedule came out, or maybe even 3 weeks ago now. But like the Love Hotel is just kind of if you're interested, I would go to that. There's so many panels of Summer House, Southern Hospitality. I'm trying to think of another show that I just don't care for. Next Gen NYC. Like those things I wouldn't waste my time going to if I had a ticket for the day, because I want to stay with like the main shows, the big cast, the things that are happening, So Love Hotel, I think Traders, it would be a fun one because we're going to get like some of the new cast and the past cast.
And they just announced that they're dropping the new season in January, so it's going to be
exactly
huge. Yeah,
exactly. And they also Dorinda and Caroline will be there, so that'll be kind of fun. And then I put the Atlanta one in there, but I actually might skip this one because Atlanta's been a little awkward lately. It hasn't really been on par to what it normally has been.
Okay.
And I don't really have any interest for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't even know who the cast is. They change up faster than any cast.
What about
right now?
Vanderpump Rules, the premiere?
Definitely wouldn't miss that. So Lisa right before is doing kind of like they have a smaller stage that's kind of a transient stage. So you can be standing up, you can be walking by, and they just have these things going on, right? So she's going to be, I'm sure, talking about all her stuff happening in Vegas and her other things.
But so informative, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I've been there, I've worked this for a couple of years, and I feel like I would skip that and just go to this because they're going to introduce the cast. They're going to show you the first episode of Vanderpump Rules. I think the cast looks phenomenal. We know some of them. I think they're going to be amazing on TV. So I would not miss this because I feel like Vanderpump Rules is kind of going to pick right back up and give us what we're giving. And we said this last Hot and Messy Topics. The producers they have on Vanderpump Rules are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give it a chance before it's going to be so good. And then the last thing I put for the day was to go see the Miami panel because it's basically like we're getting a part 4 of the reunion after we've had a breather, right? So,
and half of these women, by the way, you guys, they don't even talk to each other anymore. So,
right, because 2 weeks ago they were all at this party and they were still separated. Like the whole cast was there, and you had Alexia, Marisol, Julia, and Larsa on one side, and you had Gertie and and everyone else, Adriana, everybody else on the other side. You know, the only person who wasn't there was Stephanie because she's busy.
If you think that Adriana is not going to hurl some sort of insult at Julia Limagova, you guys are insane. It's definitely coming your way. If you guys follow Real Housewives of Miami, if you don't, let me just say it's my favorite. But if you do, you know that we have like Larsa, Alexia, Marisol over here, and Julia. And then on the other side, we have, I feel like Stephanie is like always like kind of like in the middle a little bit. And then on the other side, we have Gertie and also Adriana. And then we also have Kiki, who kind of floats in between as well. She's like very Dolores in that way because like she's not good with Gertie at the moment, but also like the other ones piss her off too. So it's going to be really, really interesting. That is definitely a panel to watch. All right.
Totally. So, I mean, that would be the biggest one. Oh, look at Talene. Sorry, I looked so good in that photo. Can I just say, I never think I look good, but I think I look good in that photo. We went to the same high school, by the way. So we're from the same little town.
Oh, and you have that. Is that the guy? I think that might be the guy from Summer House behind you.
No, he's not. He's actually working. That was the guy who was working at Shannon's booth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So give us.
You can tell Adam doesn't watch Summer House.
Yeah. I was thinking it was like Wes or something, but give us Sunday and then we'll move on from BravoCon.
Yeah, let's move on from BravoCon because we're going to be with you guys the whole time. So like if you guys are members, make sure you sign up for your membership. I gave 20 memberships away today. So enjoy those if you guys got them and follow along with us. Sunday is the last day. So Andy is going to do a panel all by himself, taking questions from the audience. Definitely do not miss that. And then, you know, one thing that we've been talking about, Adam, that's been kind of cool is all the crossovers, like with Love Hotel, for instance, or Below Deck and Salt Lake City. And they're kind of doing like a crossover kind of panel. And I just find that interesting. And then I don't think anybody will go to 2 Below Deck panels except me. So
you're not going to go to any panel. You have no time, friend.
I'm going to try to sneak away. You know,
I'm telling you, it's not happening. But go ahead.
If you're a member, you guys will find out exactly why I don't have time.
Yeah.
And then they have the Salt Lake City one, which I would not miss because of everything happening right now between Lisa, Angie, everything. You get a chance to see where we're at, kind of mid-season of Salt Lake City. And just to wrap it up, because Southern Charm is about to premiere, I would go see the Southern Charm panel.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is you want to know what panel I'm probably not going to?
Well, you just said all of them. So.
Yeah. No, but guys, it's going to be so much fun. Like I said earlier, if you're not a part of the members, Jason just gave 20 more memberships out. It's $2.99 if you just do it from mobile. If you go on the desktop and you do it from your computer, it's $3.99.
No. So if you do it from your YouTube app, if you join our membership through our YouTube app, it is $3.99 because Apple adds on a tax. So you just go on your browser on your phone or log in on your desktop. Yeah. And it's $2.99. So
got it. It's so I'm not going to speak again.
It's okay. He has
mother being YouTube, but like, to me, I don't understand, but it's okay. But what I was going to say is we arrive on Wednesday. Thank you to the end of the government shutdown. I hope everybody gets back to work.
That's
and they get
still going to affect us, friend. Sorry.
Well,
I was going to say that's going nowhere. We're still shut down.
Okay, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because I'm a manifesting king. I'm hopeful that we're going to be fine. But as far as like Thursday, guys, that's when like the festivities begin for Jason and I. So starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm going to be doing members only lives every single morning. And then at the end of it, once we come back, we get settled. We're going to do like a whole roundup. Jason and I kind of talking about the entire experience, but also throughout the day, if I'm walking around and I'm, like just feeling the need to film members only, I'm not going to do it on the public platform at all because I can't.
Well, we've been also promising this for members for a long time.
Oh, it's going to be worth it.
I can't even tell you. I mean, we'll show you guys when we pack up because we're going to start vlogging tomorrow. But like, we have everything ready to go. The equipment's ready. The stuff is ready. Adam, if you had one moment to look forward to this BravoCon, what is it going to be?
I want to sit there and I want to tell some of these bitches that my hands are bisexual and they don't deviate. So I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you come at me crazy and you're going to get treated like you're crazy.
You sound crazy. What is with you?
No. Sorry guys. I saw that on the TikTok today. No,
Good Lord.
Realistically, I'm excited for so many things. I'm excited this is the first time that we're actually going to be staying in the same hotel. Not as like weirdos, but with most of the Bravo talent, but just because we were invited to. So I'm super excited about that. The after parties, we have a big podcast interview that we're going to be doing that
won't get us in trouble this year. So that's good.
Yeah, you guys
can stay out of trouble, stay in the clear.
You guys will see that on members. Fuck. And then I also have a big drop that's coming during BravoCon that's going to make my entire BravoCon weekend very, very uncomfortably awkward. And it's from a different network. If you guys are on members, you'll find out about that. There's a lot that I'm afraid of
this week.
Yep. There's a lot that I'm afraid of. And there's a lot that I'm excited about. Guys, this is when I tell you high highs and low lows, like BravoCon for us is just that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. But guys, we've spent with over 400 people in the room. We love you guys and thank you and smash the like button. We've spent almost half an hour talking about BravoCon. But I
hope we didn't bore you. I hope we give you some like good information.
Oh, there's no way if people are actual Bravo fans, none of this bores you. Like I would be eating this shit up. This is amazing. Like you guys have no idea the behind the scenes that we're about to bring you. It is like an adventure. It's kind of like, you know, like you go to Disney World, you see the rides, you see Mickey, you see Minnie, but then it's like, there's always a backstory. Like, how did you come up with it? Like, how did this come to be?
Here you get to see all kinds of Mickey and Minnies, right? You get to see recovering Mickey, Minnie. Yeah. You get to see fraud Mickey and Minnie. You get to see pretty and rich Mickey and Minnie. You get to see crazy Mickey and Minnie. There's so many Mickey and Minnies to see at BravoCon. I can't wait.
And I was laughing because I was talking to Emily D. Baker, and she was like, I was telling her about some of the events that we're going to be going to, and you know, we always get like, you know, like a +1 or a +2 or something like that. And she was telling me like, are you sure that I can come here? Like that we can do this? And are you sure that we're going to be able to do this? And you know, like how is that like? From what time to what time? And I'm like, Emily, like with all due respect, I love you and the law nerds and I have all the respect and you guys kill it. And you guys are like this like massive conglomerate over there. But like when it comes to BravoCon, just come with me. Like, I feel like come with me, take a chance, go away. Let's see. Like, it's crazy. You have no idea. It's like Wonderland. You'll see.
You know what's crazy to me too is I know we're still talking about BravoCon, and sorry guys, I don't mean to go on for 30 minutes about this, but anytime you walk around with Emily at BravoCon, all the housewives watch her. So like it's funny to watch them fangirl over Emily.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a
well, and you know, some people too also don't realize like Emily is like the top 1% of YouTube, you guys. Like she is massive on YouTube, and she's done so many different celebrity lawsuits, like the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. That's like the one that comes top, you know, like to the top of my mind. But sometimes people don't know anything about her, which is also kind of, I think, really fun for her because they'll walk up and a lot of times it depends who the housewife is. Like if it's usually like an OG vet housewife, they're the sweetest. They're so nice for the most part. And they're like, hi, how are you? And they treat everybody the same. And then if you get newer like Bravo talent and they don't know who you are, they're like, really?
Isn't it crazy? Like, the new Bravo talent compared to the OG one. We were just talking about this on a members, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like seeing some of them, we just, you know, we're at a big event. What is that, last week or 2 weeks ago now? Almost 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks
in
ago.
New York. And we saw a whole bunch of them. And some of the newer talent is kind of like,
well, it wasn't just that event. It was also a different event that we went to.
Well, we went to like 2.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Aaron's thing was fun. That was a good
my
time.
God,
and about the other event that we were at where
like
ran into the other housewives.
New York ladies, New Jersey ladies, they're amazing. All the captains are amazing. The below deck cast, usually unless they're like the chief stews, like, you know, Aisha or like Daisy or Hannah, which I'm so excited to finally meet her because You guys, if you're like OG, like in the Addams family, you remember Pops. Pops used to pop off on Pop Culture and give back to the vets. And Hannah did a solid and gave him like a real in life, you know, like FaceTime cameo right after giving birth to her child. And it was so cool. And I recorded it. Yeah, for YouTube. It was so much fun. But and I still owe her like a big hug, and I'm sure I'm gonna start crying because I'm a Cancer. But going back to it, like, it is really weird to see who has the big egos and who's just like, oh my God, I love you. Like, for example, Brittany Cartwright. You guys meet Brittany? The most lovable person. You know, like even Tamra. I thought Tamra was going to be the biggest asshole. So lovable. You know, like you got it just, it depends. It really depends. And you'll see.
Ooh, I cannot wait to get into this today.
I will explain. All right, guys. So can we move on from, should we take some of these questions and then move on?
Let's move on. And if you guys have a question during the live, go ahead and put a Q before it. We'll start it and we'll answer it at some point during the live. Also, just going on, if you guys want to know, we do have a little mini series kind of bonus content going on the podcast that I wanted to tell you guys about, because Hannah is the next one being dropped. But we're taking all 200 of Adam's interviews he's done with Bravo Lebs, and we're putting them up on the podcast as kind of, we're calling it From the Vault. So everything has been, all the audio has been cleaned up so you can hear a good, clean interview. But we're taking old interviews and seeing how they stack up to today. So the first one was Mama D. And that was such a great interview. And it was so fun to listen to all over again and to see, you know, kind of how she was back then. So it's a lot of fun, guys. So we have those coming up every day. We're not dropping an episode. There will be a new From the Vault. I'm excited about it. Hannah's coming up. Caroline Stanberry, who was your first interview and you were her first interview on her podcast.
And I predicted something.
And you predicted
something you'll find out if you go
listen
to it.
So fun. So fun.
All right, guys, we're going to run through these questions. You know, can I say really quick? I always come on here, you guys, because I start off my day at like 2:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning, and I go and I have like a big meal and I take the animals out, I deal with them. And then, you know, like I pre-record my videos and ads and sponsorships and TikToks before coming on here. And then I come on here and I feel like I'm tired. But when I come on here with like the energy, especially with you, Jason, I get so excited and I'm like, I get into it. And it takes me a minute for like my eyes to like open up and be like, shit. We're here.
We haven't even started. We haven't even started the hot, messy topics, and I cannot wait. There is so much to talk about.
So much to talk about, you guys. All right. So again, Jason at 7:32 a.m. gifted 10 Up and Adam memberships, and then again at 12:04 p.m. gifted another 10 Up and Adam memberships. So I'm going to answer some of these questions for you.
Here with the details.
Yeah. Shafani said, do you still kiki with Monica? Yeah. You guys, I love Monica. I have a great relationship with her. I talk to her all the time. Remember, she's a new mommy. So I always check in with her though. And it's funny because I actually don't know if she's publicly given the name of her daughter, but she came to my 31st birthday that Jason threw. It was massive. There was like an ice luge, a catamaran, this massive event. And she actually named her baby after inspiration from my birthday. So I'm going to take a little bit of credit. And I always call or like text to check in on the baby, even though I have not met the baby, but I thought that was really cute. That's fun. It's a fun little fact. Tara Leitner, you're always so sweet.
Oh, Tara, thank you.
Super sticker. You're always the best. And Tara, you know that sometimes if I don't get to something in the live chat, you DM me and then I just DM you back on Instagram. And now I have you put into my primary, not the general or unread or spam. So anytime you have a question, just message me. I have an answer for you. How do you become a member? Jason, I'm gonna let you take this one.
So all you have to do, guys, you go to Up and Adam Live channel on YouTube and push join membership. Just again, I'll try one more time. Do it from your computer or your browser. Do not do it through your YouTube app if you have an iPhone, because you get charged the Apple tax, which I believe is what, 30%, Adam, or something like that?
Yep.
So it does charge another $1. And like, why? When you can just log in and do it on your computer.
Well, and just to show you guys, like, so if you guys go to Up and Adam, just right there on YouTube, you guys see that they have the home, the videos, the shorts, the live, the podcast, playlist, post, and then membership. So like if you see posts, you guys can go and you can vote in our polls. We have polls all the time, and I encourage you to vote and also just like give your opinion. Mind you guys, Bravo, NBC, they watch, they look at this. I know this for a fact because I've talked to a lot of people who work at the network, and they kind of use what we do as research and development in a funny way. I don't blame them because you guys are incredible. But you can click on the membership tab, and the membership tab takes you on, and you can go on and just figure out, like, from there, go and join. All you have to do is click on like one of the videos. That's a members only video, like this one, our trip to New York City.
It's okay.
And then you can normally right here, it would say join membership.
Yeah. Well, if you're not logged in, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I'm logged in, so it's different. But
yeah,
guys. So just go, and it's right there on the tabs. Click memberships, and it'll say join members. So that's all. And Holly, we can't wait to see you, especially during BravoCon. Jason, people are having problems being members. Please help. I think that we just covered this, Vicky.
Yeah, and if not, Google is such a great help.
Yeah.
Because it is connected to YouTube. Like, you know, Google owns YouTube. So if you Google it, you can, it'll give you a step-by-step.
Baywatch, thank you for joining. Kay Jones. So if we can't be a member, we won't get coverage. Let me just say,
not behind the scenes.
Yeah, we always cover, like, we'll still have these like normal conversations. You guys, the thing is like members only. It's protected behind a paywall. And if you don't necessarily know what that means, because I didn't know what it meant until Jason explained it to me. It's why so many people like Heather McDonald or Dana Wilkie or some of your favorite content creators, they have Patreons and stuff like that. It's because the stuff that they're putting out there is a little bit more protected, and it's not just seen through the lens of like the main media, like, or networks that we're sitting there trying to nurture relationships with. They're not in our members, so I feel like we have a little bit more freedom, as opposed
basically,
to just
if you want the real deal, you got to be a member.
Yeah,
we're gonna throw some shit at you guys that is gonna be so fun. Take you behind the scenes. We're gonna be vlogging with you guys, and I think it's just gonna be so much fun.
You are so right, though. I do. Jason said the other day that I explain everything in a Dorit roundaut way. Yes. I'm long-winded.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
That's why we're 40 minutes into this live.
Reality Diamond, see you on Friday. Thank you. We're so excited.
Ready. Oh my God, it's going to be our like 2-year anniversary. The last time we saw you was in London.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to get into it. We have a lot of other stuff to cover. So let's just start, I guess, here. You guys know that we told you last Friday, we talked a little bit about that Luis Ruelas video. I'm just going to say, after I posted the Luis Ruelas video, I thought it was incredibly problematic. I feel like I definitely said to you guys that I hope that it wasn't true. I hope that it was AI. And if you guys don't remember, I had another content creator, Krissy Balls, who lives in New Jersey. She is the #1 go-to for all of the New Jersey content. She knows everybody, has real relationships with them. And I think that you can see her on some of the shows in the background. But she completely debunked this whole AI theory behind Luis. At least that's what she's claiming. So let's just...
My God, that video is crazy. It's crazy. And I spent the whole weekend, Adam, just like kind of looking at it, because everyone was questioning if it was, well, not everyone was questioning it was AI. Luis was telling everybody it was AI. But like, I don't know, man.
Oh, I mean,
I think we're about to get it debunked anyway.
I mean, it was definitely a lot. Hold on. It was Let me just make sure that I have the exact video. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop sharing this because I don't want you guys to see where I got sent this from, but I'm going to pull it up right now. She goes on and she shares all of the details as to why this would not be an AI video. So here we go. Now I got it. Boom. Perfect. Love that. I love a good sharing moment. Here we go.
What if I told you this video was from 6 years ago before AI was even a thing? I'm about to make a mess of tea with the help of this comment. This is Luis' home, drop ceiling, industrial vent and all, only it's the home he owned in Allendale, New Jersey. The one he lived in before he moved in with Teresa. And if you've seen any videos from Luis and Teresa's basement, you know that Their basement is very similarly decorated to this. Now, before I spill anything else, I've seen a lot of comments saying, what's the context? Who's he yelling at? You're not showing the whole video. I cut out 2 sections of this, one of which he says that he goes into his kids' beds after they go to school and hugs their pillows tight and cries. To me, that was just giving no-nose pajamas again, and like we already know. The other part was as follows.
Swear to God, if it was legal, I swear to God, I'd go over there right now with my fucking down and I right over the head, you.
Ladies, please don't ever get upset when a man of this caliber, who happens to be dressed like the Unabomber, is in his basement, phone propped on his treadmill, calling you a C word, for obvious reasons. Now for the real tea, and it's concerning the AI defense that Louis and Teresa are taking. Because pop culture with balls newsflash, AI, it is most definitely not. As I mentioned, the information I received is that this video is actually 6 years old, hence it being filmed in his home in Allendale, which he hasn't lived in for just about that long. How do we know that? Because it was used in court proceedings against him and entered as evidence after being forensically examined. No, they don't just do that to dead bodies. When a video is forensically examined, it means a few things. It means that the device it was recorded on was seized. Special software is used to extract the original file, and further analyzation procures a timestamp and also facial recognition. In TikTok terms, Grok, as well as Teresa and Louis' groomed fans, can say whatever they want in the comment section, but seeing as AI as we know it wasn't even around 6 years ago, this is 100% Louis. Oh,
I mean,
so
what do you say to that? I mean, she brought up some great. She did the work, by the way. She has some time, but like you did the work, girl.
I'm gonna say this. I know that Teresa and Louis are obviously not going to be fans of Krissy Balls. When Louis messaged me, Jason saw the email exchange. I feel like I was nothing but kind and appropriate.
As
right?
always, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to share what I said, you guys, and I'm not going to share that email exchange. But he really leaned into saying, he was talking about Vinny Via, that platform where there was the woman who threw the event, who was claiming she was owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. He said, you know, you're like peddling this false narrative, saying that I was an owner of it. I never said I was an owner. Pretty sure there's stuff out there that claimed that he did say that, but then I was like, okay. So I just sat there and I ate crow, and I'm like, I'm about to go to BravoCon. There are so many other people that I know that I'm going to have awkward encounters with. I'm not trying to make more enemies. So, okay. And then he was just saying like, this is an AI video and it's pushed out there and it's bullshit. And like, I would appreciate if, you know,
but
like,
I mean, wouldn't you say that anyway? Like, wouldn't you say that if you were, I would say that if that video got,
I mean, I would say it's
AI.
It's not, you didn't know, like at the end of the day, like, it's not like you knew when you made this video that you were going to be in the public eye, most likely. But then there are so many other videos that Krissy Balls, like if you go on her TikTok, she makes a point of showcasing like a bunch of other videos that Louis films of himself, like claiming that he lost over or close to $1 billion on Rue La La. And he said, you know, like Ruelas is my last name. Like that was supposed to be me. And he's like crying into the camera. Then there was also the shirtless video. So she was trying to point out the fact that he loves to make videos with him front and center, and that this is just another example of that. But she also pointed out the facts of that AI was not there 6 years ago, and that this was apparently, according to Krissy Balls, inserted into
also, Adam,
evidence.
I've been using AI for a long time.
Yeah.
Like since it like first came out and started. And yes, I think what I couldn't believe it when I first saw it, because I didn't know this was from like 6 years ago or whatever. I just couldn't believe the character behind it. That the rhetoric. It was just so aggressive and so hateful that I was like, this is crazy. It's almost like scary to watch, right? He comes off as a very scary person. And we said this last time, though, you know, a lot of people who we know who have met him find him very charming, but they found Ted Bundy charming, like you said last time. So who knows? But even 6 years ago, there weren't AI videos. That just came out. Google just came out with Veo. Grok just came out with their thing. You know, Sora just came out. This hasn't been around for a long time, and they're still not that good. So now it just makes him look really shitty.
I mean,
you know?
her explanation, like, let me just say, I've spoken with Krissy Balls like a few times, and again, like I said, she's been on the channel. She doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to put stuff out there and risk being sued for defamation. Like, she strikes me as somebody who's really going to go out there and do the work and try to gather the information to have like the best possible kind of. So what I wanted to do was give you guys like a follow-up. That's coming from her. I didn't do the work. I didn't look into it. I don't have time to look into the shit. I shared what came out. He asked me to please, he was like, stop peddling this false narrative. It's not, it's nothing. I mean, listen, AI. And then she came out with that. And then I just wanted to show you guys that. So you guys can make whatever, like,
well, you cannot. Here's the thing: is when people like, okay, like Louis, for instance, says like, stop peddling this false narrative, right?
Right.
We didn't ask you to go on reality TV. You chose to go on reality TV. If you have skeletons in your closet, it's going to come up. We were not the first ones to play this video. We were not the first ones to receive this video. In fact, 6 other people and Bravo accounts sent it to us. So a lot of people are going to be covering it. And if you're not covering it and you're covering Bravo, then you should be covering it. So that's just going to happen. You know, so it's just, we're not peddling something, but we are going to talk about it because you chose to be on reality TV. Right. And this isn't the first weird video he's made before. Remember, he was on the beach and being like, like I'm some like renewed person from doing some journey or whatever the hell he was doing. Yeah. Remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, not so much.
God. BravoCon, you guys, this is going to be, again, join members. This is going to be fucking awkward. All right, guys. So on top of that, I don't know if you're
everybody starts unsubscribing after members only videos comes out because we're just ranting about shit.
I mean, all right. So guys, I hope you're watching Wives Swap. I thought that it was going to be really stupid at first. I now kind of changed my perspective on it. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoyed Emily Simpson. I enjoyed Melissa Gorga. I've enjoyed a few of them. I thought that they've been really, really good. We're about to get Dr. Wendy Osefo. It's going to be interesting, but I wanted to share this because one of the girls or the women, the wives that swapped with Emily Simpson, I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm going to take you back. Joe Gorga promoted through his company, somebody in his company promoted this, a home, a before and after. Now, it was all over the place. We covered this and somebody was coming forward saying, wait a minute, that's not your before or after. That's actually like the home that I live in. That's my home. Wait, what? So they were like speaking out to the media saying, that is my home. That was not done by Joe Gorga. And that just happened to be the same woman who swapped lives with Emily Simpson, right? Here's the video. It's, God, you can't write this shit.
The Gorgas and I had a little small thing a couple years ago about my old house. He claimed to have built my house and flipped it, and he used my home picture on his Instagram when in fact he did not build it or flip it, and it was actually the wrong address. It was kind of like a little scam-ish. And I simply just asked him to take it down, and he didn't, and that was when it kind of exploded and people caught on to it. But other than that, no, we don't communicate at all. And eventually the picture was taken down, and he admitted that the house that he claimed to have flipped was obviously not mine, and it went away. The Gorga.
So real quick,
where is she going? I thought she was going to go feed some horses or something. What is she all doing? Like a makeup tutorial?
It was a get ready with me.
Get ready with me to go
feed horses. So what I'm going to say about this too, guys, is, you know, like at one point, Jason and I had an assistant and she was lovely. We loved her. We ended up moving out of state. It didn't make sense to have an assistant that was out of state just because like we would sit across, like you would see, if you guys like go back to like 3 years ago, we would sit at the table, we would have like little morning meetings. And if we were going to have somebody work with the channel or like work with us, not for us, but with us and like help kind of grow everything, we needed them like in front of us, you know, it changes the whole dynamic. So when we were kind of like maneuvering this, because it was our first time, there were multiple times where things would be posted under my name, whether it was polls or different like photos of Bravo celebrities that we have relationships with. And I can't tell you the amount of scathing messages that I got from Bravo celebrities being like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'd be like, I don't even know what happened.
What photo did you use? Why would you use that?
Are you joking? Like, what's wrong with you? So I want to defend Joe and Melissa on this for a second because they have multi-million-dollar businesses. Like the Sprinkle Cookie Company just hit over $1 million. That was written up all over the place on major media outlets.
Crazy.
And then you have Envy by Melissa Gorga, worth way over $1 million. You have Joe, who's like a massive contractor. He has his own businesses. He also has other homes that he is the landlord for. And I believe they have commercial real estate too. I'm not certain on that. But if I had to imagine, I feel like they don't have time to run a lot of the socials and the stuff that's pushing out content for these different businesses. I feel like people would be put in place for this.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that this was a Joe and Melissa.
But this gets people in trouble a lot. Like, it got us in trouble. It got us in trouble. So like this, yeah, I can understand that. But also like you kind of think, okay, you're on wife swap. Okay, cool. Like we don't need to be pushing some kind of like, what are you going to try to feud? You're going to try to get on the show? Like what are we doing?
A fun fact though. Like what she said, it's a fun fact. I don't see a world where like, it definitely was not Joe and Melissa who put those photos up. It was somebody who they hired, who was trying to do their job, who probably used a before and after, not realizing the sort of reach that they have in that Bravo world and how many eyes are actually on it, you know? And I think that that's what happened. Right? Like in your opinion,
what do you mean, right? I don't know. Yeah.
No, but
I agree because that happened. We were talking about that before. It's happened so many times to us that,
yeah,
you know, if you do have someone working for you and, you know, and like Tess just said in the live chat, I really don't think it's a huge deal either way. You know,
yeah.
Is it?
Not really. But also your house was featured on a Housewives, whatever. So, okay. Moving on. New member, Holly Robinson. I'm glad that you got that situated. And then also Maria Salmon. Thank you so much. Welcome guys to memberships. It's going to be so much fun. We have to go through this next little tidbit and it's not as dark. Like I don't have to give you a trigger warning like I did last Friday, but then maybe I do. It just depends how you are like as a person, because it's still a little, I mean, it's dark. It's just not the Luis Ruelas dark. I don't know if you guys saw this. Not great.
It is dark. I wanted to talk about this.
It's very, very dark. It's just not, I guess it's because you're not hearing an audio behind it. Like if you heard this woman reading this, I think it would be different.
Who doesn't have the account anymore. Obviously, after you get called out for something like this, your account usually disappears, right? Because you're going to get it right back. This is insanity to me. And let me just say something, because not a lot of people today can agree on things. And that's because the state of a lot of things happening in our world, our country, etc. But no one is having conversations anymore. And this is like one of those things where just you fall into like the team thing. Like that's why I hate politics. Because if you don't believe in this, this, and this, you're not on this team. But if you're somewhere in the middle, you know, like it just sucks for you. And it's the same thing with Orange County. It's like you're either team Tamra or you're team not. And if you're team not Tamra, people get very aggressive. Right. And I can't believe people are sending messages like that. How old is this person? You're an adult and you're sending messages wishing for someone to off themselves? That's crazy. Listen, I'm going to say this. I've never liked Tamra on Orange County until this season. So everyone has a different opinion. Everyone has a different perspective of
But you also
things,
wouldn't send a message like that.
No, because you know what? It's entertainment. It's supposed to be fun. It's not that deep. And when people start letting things affect their lives like this, where they feel so compelled to write a message like this,
psychopath, like you sound, honestly, like at first I was going to be cotton candy about this and be like, you know,
this
like,
is the kind of shit.
Crazy. You sound like a sick fuck. Like you sound, I'm going to read it to you guys in case like you're listening and you're not like actually seeing the screen right now. Let me just say exactly what this woman said to Tamra. And Tamra reposted it. And I actually applaud Tamra for how she handled it. But the woman said, I truly hope that you have considerations of killing yourself. Please do everyone a favor and never show up for the OC again. You've officially ruined the show with your toxicity and your inability to take responsibility for your actions. You wonder why your children don't talk to you? Sweetie, You're an embarrassment. So it all makes sense. Give up, babe. You're washed up and no plastic surgery will ever fix that. Your friends hate you, babe. Kill yourself. Do us all a favor and read your hate comments. Otherwise, you're ruining the entire Housewives franchise. Do you honestly want that on your shoulders? All caps, no one wants your pussy ass on the show. You've never taken responsibility for shit. Please, if you need me to make the knife sharper,
this is horrible.
Less.
This is
terrible.
horrible.
And
again,
Tamra,
Adam.
Well, hold on real quick. Tamra responded and said, "This is never okay. Sending messages telling someone to end their life should be illegal." I agree. It's never this deep. It's a reality show meant for entertainment. Being on TV doesn't make me less human. What I was going to tell 100%. You really quick before you pop off on this, because I know you have a lot of opinions. There was a whole documentary and also a Hulu series that was based off of something very similar. There was a girl in high school who had a boyfriend who was also in high school. And he said that he hated his, life, whatever. And she convinced him to get in his car and smoke it out in the garage and, take his own life. She ended up going and she had to stand trial for it. And he was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't actually go through with this. And she's like, what are you doing? Get back in the truck. Like, don't do this. Like, you better kill your, and really convinced him until he finally did it. And then once he did it, she had to stand trial. She was a monster.
No, it's insane. I don't know, to be honest with you, what makes a sound-minded, well, obviously she's not sound-minded, any adult feel compelled to send a message like this, and to feel like it's people feel so strongly about things today, and it's off-putting. I think social media has done a kind of a disservice to the world. Basically, it used to be fun. It used to be a place where you can communicate. Now it's a place of just political messaging and vile comments and stuff like that. Even when we had a disagreement before with a fellow content creator, Adam, someone messaged you and doxed your dad, and knew exactly where he lived and made threats to you. And it's like, who has the fucking time to be doing this?
What's crazy?
It's insane.
I was sitting with our good friend Melissa, and we were sitting at a place called Rafiki Tiki in West Palm, you guys. It was right
at the whatever it is, the marina.
Right at the marina. And I was sitting there and I recorded all the videos, and I felt so embarrassed because I'm sitting here crying at a bar. And I was looking at my YouTube and, going through the comments while we were waiting for food because she was looking at stuff. And then I started you could see visibly getting upset, and I opened it and she was like, what? And she looked, and I always have a privacy screen on my phone, and I showed her, and it was like, I hope you like yourself and blah, blah, blah. And it was very detailed. And she was like, I'm so sorry. And that was the very beginning stages of us doing YouTube. Now at this point, if you told me that, I would be like, you hope I do that? I hope you go fuck yourself. You're a psycho, and I don't. Yeah, cash me outside. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
But
what's crazy
so
is
now,
these people, and I'm gonna actually share a story too with you guys, because these people here. Let me just go on this question too that Tara just asked. She said, "Will you feel safe when you see Louis at BravoCon? I'm a little worried for you." Don't. It's so funny is so many people who are keyboard warriors who come after you, who say things. They're not like that to your face at all. We used to have, guys, there used to be a lot of drama within the content creating community because everyone was brand new to it, and everyone's thinks they're in competition with each other, which no one's in competition with each other. We all have different views and opinions, and it's just fun. You know what I mean? But when people get really hey, I'm team this person or team that person, I got some really awful messages from people who used to be subscribers and even moderators here on this channel. And then at BravoCon, when I was with Emily and we were at an event, one of them who used to be a moderator on our channel, who came to our live shows, and when we had live shows, came up to me. She's like, hey, I just want to talk and clarify something. And I told her, you don't need to clarify anything. I just, it was very I don't have time. When you're a keyboard warrior, you're very comfortable behind the keys. I'm really comfortable with you in front of your face. So it's just, I don't know why people do that, because when you do meet people and you think you have all these ideas, let's use Tamra as an example. When you have all these ideas about her and you watch things you've seen on TV, mind you, these are edited, these are produced moments, these are things to make us watch the show, and you actually meet this person, they are human, and you might have a different perspective or feeling when you do meet these people. And that's why I know some people say, oh, Adam, like you have relationships with all the housewives, you must be biased. No, it gives a different perspective. And I think it gives a different insight into what's happening, where you can make a different kind of conscious, I don't know, perspective than just following the fold and being like, I'm team this person, I hate you. You know,
I'm going to add 2 things to this.
I hope that made sense. I don't know.
No, it does. It does. I'm going to add 2 things to this. One, if you guys, the only people who would know this would be my mother-in-law, Janet, my mom, and Jason. But like, I get calls from housewives and Bravo people all the time. And if you guys ever, like, if you ever got to be a fly on the wall and listen to how I talk, you would be like, oh my God. Because when they start sitting there complaining, like I've been told, shut up. And I'm like, you shut up. Who are you? Like, and we'll sit there, but then we're friends, you know, but like, I don't take shit from anybody, but also I'm always like so respectful. Like I'm never trying to create conflict with you. Like if I'm covering something that offends you, I'm sorry. I'm like one of 20 people who are covering it.
That's my point going back to the Louis stuff. Is Louis, even if you see him at BravoCon, he can't come up to you and be mad at you because you signed up for the reality show, right? Right. You signed up for the reality show. This is on you. If things come out about you, we didn't put it out. You know,
my second point. Well, the second point I was going to make was, if in fact, you guys, there's ever moments, like if there are ever moments, which this is the second live where I've been asked about Sheena or Louis or anybody else, when it comes to like some of these moments where I'm called out, like even at Kathy Hilton's party by like the Salt Lake City wives, and it was like a whole bunch of them or whatever, I don't care about conflict. I grew up with a lot of brothers and sisters. Like I grew up in conflict. I literally like, I thrive in these like chaotic moments, not that I look for them. And I'm not trying to also offer conflict back to it, but I'm never going to shy away from it. And I will definitely stand there in that moment. If there's something that's awkward for me and it's like the most important person in the room, I have no problem parting like the big gay Bravo C and like heading straight for that person and just addressing it. You can ask Jason,
100%.
I swear, like 1,000,000%.
No,
like I will not
100%.
ever shy away from it, but also not sounding like a big asshole. I'm not ever going into it with conflict. I'm like, hey, obviously there's an issue. Can we resolve that now? Is this the time? Can we put it to bed? And I apologize for my part. How do we move forward?
Well, that's only if some, I mean, I don't even know why you apologize, to be honest with you, because there's nothing that you've started or done. You know what I mean?
Well, the one
if you want to
was,
the interview, that's different.
Sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course. You want to apologize for that. That's fine. You know, like I'm not going to apologize to Sheena for being a shitty friend. You know what I mean? Like that's not happening.
No.
You know,
like, and I'm sure Brock will come up to me at BravoCon too and be like, hey mate, and like this and this, and like I don't know what and whatever. And
why is it hey mate?
Because I'm sure it will be.
It's the same one you do for Captain Jason. Hey mate.
Even in that, you know, like I love Brock. I think Sheena's great. I didn't like the situation. Did it affect my life and like
I think
no.
I think it shows true colors though too, you know, because you know when I don't want to hash this out again, but like when people help you out, you know, when you're in a predicament or you need a show written or you need some help and people help you and come host your show and do things for you, but then when someone comes on your show and you guys talk about suing us, then that is not a friend. That's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. And I'm really shocked Sheena's even at BravoCon this year.
It's not even that. And I want to leave Sheena out of this, but it's also like other content creators, you guys. Like there are other things that are being put together. And let me just say, like in this world, I have my finger on the pulse of everything. Like I know what is happening behind the scenes. I know what's going on. I know when it comes to the content creators. I know when it comes to like the actual Bravo talent. I'm not trying to sound again like an asshole, but if there's an event, I'm gonna like, I know about it. I get wind of it. People just send it to me. I'm not asking for it. I just find out about it because people ask me like, are you going? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And so, there's like a few things that are happening at BravoCon too, where it's a lot of content creators. And I was also like a little off put by, there's like about 3 or 4 events that I didn't hear about from the people who were throwing them. And what I thought was wild was, wait a minute, like even at BravoCon, like the parties and like the different events, like behind the scenes, like I literally like took you behind the scenes, like I handheld you into them, into like a place that you never would have been into. So no, that's what I'm saying though. It's interesting, and it just makes me not want to, like, this is why I love family, and I can count my friends on one hand, like on five fingers, because you don't, like, people just shit on you. And it sucks to think about it like that. But a lot of people are so opportunistic, and the people who we surround ourselves with, they're so genuine and so lovely. And it's like, that's why, unless you're an incredibly special person, you're not infiltrating. This is like Meet the Fucking Parents, the circle of trust. You're not infiltrating the circle of trust. Like, that is what,
you know what, this goes back to, you know, I really think we have a really cool community here too. And I think that's what drives when things happen like that and it becomes shitty with, like, let's say, you know, other content creators or, you know, talent and stuff. My face looks so fucking filtered. And this is my iPhone because my camera wasn't working.
No, mine too, but it's
what's happening.
There's no filter.
I know. I know.
The lighting. It's great lighting.
No.
And Botox, but
and Botox. But yeah, no, I don't know. I love this community, and this is the thing that I think drives us to keep going and building. And next year, guys, we're going off the hook with a lot of things, which I think is gonna be so fun to bring you along with too. But this community is positive. I go to some people's pages sometimes, and I go to different communities, and it's so hateful. The rhetoric, and people get so angry, and it's fun to talk about, and it's fun to do hot, messy topics and stuff like that. But you know, like it can't be all that serious. We're just here to have fun and like laugh together and talk together.
Well, also
we're not
too,
here
though,
to send
a lot of people
messages like.
Here's
like
the thing
this,
too, though.
You know.
Right. But here's the thing too. And by the way, Lori Smith, I'm going to keep this up here. Thank you so much for the super sticker.
Yeah, thank you, Lori.
I'm going to cap this at this, but I think that it'll resonate with everybody, especially from us being behind the scenes, like in the whole content creator world, blogger, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I don't get mad about it. But I think that when you start putting out really harsh opinions or aggressive opinions, or you start attacking people, what you do is you spark a very heavy response. And that's exactly what you're trying to do, because in person, if you do that at a bar, right, you're going to get punched in the face. It's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be a brawl. You're going to see it on Facebook or like Black Friday, like at Walmart in Florida, right? But if you do it behind the internet as a content creator with a following, what you're doing is you're sparking that same outrage, but in numbers, in watch time, in comments, and likes or dislikes. And it sort of filters down. And truly what you're doing is you're paying this person's bills. So when they're trying to spark like some sort of like very aggressive, hateful rhetoric or crazy response or fight or feud, they're doing it because it's paying their bills. Like
it's money.
There's a business plan. You know what I mean?
And you know, this is the same thing to be said about the shows though, right? When these ladies have feuds and stuff, you know, and even there was a great interview Caroline just did with Juliette Mayhew, who's from The Real Housewives of London. And Caroline gives her the advice. I don't care if to see her. But when sorry, I was replying to a comment if you're listening. But oh, you ruined my train of thought.
Caroline gave her advice.
Oh, Caroline gave advice to Juliette Mayhew. She's like, you know, sometimes people who are your worst enemy the first season are your best friends the next season. You know, but the thing is these feuds, these fights, you know, I think some of them have been taken a little too far recently on Housewives, but they really are cordial in real life, even if they don't like each other. They really are friends in real life. In fact, the whole housewife community, the whole Bravo community is such a tight-knit like community that everyone considers friends. Yes, of course, people have feuds, but that's what drives the ratings. Just like if someone like a content creator is going to go after another content creator to make money, it's the same thing. They're driving ratings to their show by, you know, having this Lisa Angie feud, soon to be Meredith versus everyone else on Salt Lake City. You know, like that. It's insane.
Well,
but
it's like
Caroline, look at her. Caroline and Chanel Ayan, they hated each other the first season, and second season they're best friends. It's just what happens. It's Housewives,
guys. And there's so many times, and I can't tell you, but go back and watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this season. When all of the women got into a fight, Lisa Barlow was a part of it, Angie, all of them. After the cameras went down, what do? They all go to Lisa Barlow's restaurant, all of them. And it's like kind of like they know what they're doing. This is what they do on all of the housewives. Like they sit there and they're like, you're a fucking bitch. You don't talk about my kid. Are you kidding me? And then like, they're like, okay, that's a wrap for this. We're wrapping. And they're like, oh my God, thank God, guys, I am starving. Does anybody else want to go down to the polo bar?
I mean, listen, some of it,
like,
most of it is, I know, but most of it is very real. You
no,
know
but they still go meet up.
But they, of course. And even when you were at the Christmas party last year at Kathy Hilton's house, like the ones who don't like each other at all, they still will attend events. They'll be cordial. They'll be nice. It's not like they're, you guys are on a show together.
With Adam, really? Like it's all for TV. And I was like, no, girl, not you going on and completely disparaging my business on a different platform that's bigger than my platform. That's
that's different. Yeah, that's different.
But I'm saying totally. Like that's the mindset is when you're on Bravo, like, it's for TV. And then once they unmic you, it's like, okay, guys, like, let's go talk about this. We're making a killer show and everybody wins, because if we have feuds, we have conflict resolution, we all win. So like, fuck it. Let's go have a cheeseburger and like, I don't know, a glass of Pinot Grigio.
I don't think everyone was saying that, but well, yeah.
All right, guys. So speaking of which, this is going to bring us to our last topic. I'm going to go ahead and segue here over to the West Coast. You guys know that Kiki Monique is going to be a host of one of the panels at BravoCon. So I think that that's absolutely amazing. I love Dorinda. I love the fact that they do reality check together. If you listen to them, they're so funny because they both a lot of times have opposing opinions and they have no problem calling each other out. No problem. And I can appreciate that because they don't sit there and cave into one another. They just sit there and they stand their ground and do what they do. So I love that. But Kiki Monique also is very well known for being boots on the ground when it comes to a lot of the legal things that happen in the Bravo world, meaning that she will actually find out when they're going to court, show up to the court, sit in the courtroom and watch exactly what happens in real time, take notes, and then take it to TikTok. That is what happened here. So here we go.
Richards has won in court. She's been granted a 5-year restraining order against her ex, Aaron Pfeiffer. I just left the courtroom. The judge issued his ruling. The restraining order will not expire until November 7th, 2030 at midnight. And as a part of this restraining order, there are several things that Aaron will have to follow. One of the orders is that Aaron will have to turn over the laptop that Denise said that he stole from her. Now, Aaron is still claiming he doesn't have possession of this laptop, but the judge issued, if you have this laptop, you need to return it forthwith. He also said that Aaron is not to post or provide to the media any of the texts or the photographs that are part of those texts. A big part of this case is that there were these intimate messages and photographs that were sent to the media. Now, the judge did say that Aaron has a First Amendment right to make comments. However, he said that now that the court has found that his posts are harassment, the judge can restrict those posts. The judge said that Aaron is not to post any further pictures that arise from the videos from Denise's surgery, and that he's to return any of those videos from Denise and delete them entirely from his devices and from his iCloud. The judge also ordered that if Aaron has any firearms, he's prohibited as part of the restraining order from possessing any firearms. And if he has any, he has to sell them or store them with a licensed gun dealer or turn them over to authorities within 24 hours. Obviously, as part of the restraining order, he cannot abuse Denise in any manner, and he has to stay at least 100 yards away from her home, her job, and her car. Now, Aaron's attorney's biggest concern about this order was how it could impact Aaron's immigration status. He said, this restraining order could lead to a possible deportation. He said it could also impact Aaron's spousal support. The judge basically said, I'm taking no position at all on how this impacts spousal support. The law is the law. So, will this affect Aaron's immigration status? Will it affect his spousal support? That will be determined in another case. Obviously, keep following for any more updates. But as of now, we at least have a ruling on this restraining order, 5 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Good job. There's the real Kiki journalist, not the
Kiki did that thing
on
I'm
Orange
gonna give her
County.
this. She
That's
literally
great.
she did
Great.
the damn thing on that, because like there's so many things. Like I didn't even know that he was not from the United States, and you know,
Yeah, they said that
like,
on the show.
it can, well, I didn't remember. I never really paid attention to him, but like you know, like it is true. Like if you are going through the immigration process, you know, you can potentially be deported if you are convicted of some sort of crime, i.e. Joe Giudice. So Kiki, you fucking killed that. That was amazing. We got
Great.
all of the details. Nobody even needs to go look at like an article about this. Like I feel like she just gave us everything, and we'll be watching, you guys. I'm curious to see how this plays out, and I'm curious to see if he does get the spousal support of like 120 to 150,000, which is what he's asking for. But then also
Crazy.
too, will he be deported? What the fuck is going to happen? Because the 5
I'm just
year
glad that
order, it's already happened.
I'm glad she has some kind of protection, or you know, at least something lawfully.
It depends. Listen, I was always taught, like growing up, like rules and laws are meant to keep honest people honest. If you're somebody who does not care, you know, like my mom had a restraining order against her ex-husband, and he showed up. We were in the house, and he showed up with a fully loaded weapon and was trying to bust down the door. And he was calling his best friend Charlie, saying that he was going to take out everybody inside of the house. And his best friend Charlie ended up calling the police, and he got Baker's acted. But he was drunk, he was out of his mind, and he didn't care about a restraining order. So it just depends at what point, if you feel like you have nothing to lose. People are so different. There's a lot of variables, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Oh, we'll see. But again, amazing coverage for sure.
Great coverage.
Guys, an hour and 20 minutes, like these hot, messy topics are just going. So let me just remind you guys, if you are back, or if you just started watching, or if you guys are part of the replay crew, let me just take you back as to everything we have going on. Jason has done an incredible job, especially with going back and kind of dealing with our podcast network and coming up with like new fun ideas of what we should be adding to the podcast while we're away, like going back and doing the vault. And I'll show you. It's easier if I just share the screen.
Yeah, guys. I mean, basically, when we don't have a podcast episode, because we always upload our live streams as the podcast episode. So if you guys are listening now and you have not dropped a rating, do so. Give us a 5-star rating. But we're kind of brushing off the dust of some of our iconic interviews, where Adam has interviewed some of the biggest and craziest personalities, Bravo personalities. And we want to see how some of these older interviews held up to current times. You know, we started this channel and the podcast 6 years ago, and here we are with all these older interviews and stuff like that. But I was listening back, especially to the Mama D one, and there are so many great tidbits in there and so many fun things. So it is nice to go back and listen to. It is bonus content on the podcast, so it shouldn't be buzzing your phone all the time. It's if you just want to go listen. We're calling it From the Vault. And yeah, it's really fun. Really fun, actually. I like it.
Oh, always super fun. And also going back to it too, if you guys didn't catch this, we did post our members only behind the scenes from our New York City trip. So if you guys just joined members, then go back, and by the way, I need to like my own video. Go back and catch our New York City trip, because we have a lot of content that's going to be coming out, at least 5 videos this week for members only content. And that's not even an exaggeration. It's going to be insane. I also
really quick, if you guys do not know where to go to find memberships, it's in the description below this video. There is a link that takes you straight to memberships, where if you're already a member, it will pop up. But if you're not a member yet, then it will prompt you to join.
Yeah. And then, guys, thank you so much. We have seen so many amazing reviews and such great feedback. We see you guys in our emails. I love seeing the emails when I wake up in the morning. I swear now at this point, I'm getting more emails for SEAGRASSCO.com, our CBD company. I'm not even joking. Like I look and it's like YouTube, SEAGRASS, YouTube, SEAGRASS. And it's like, it's fun to see because we have not received one negative remark yet. People are absolutely loving it. We hope you enjoy it. If you guys are not aware, if you like just first sign up for the first time, you get 15% off, but you can use code UP and Adam, all one word, for an additional 20% off. If you guys are a part of the members though, we are offering additional, you know, like discounts. So just remember that too. There's a lot of perks that come with that $2.99 a month. And then I wanted to share with you guys this as well before we end off. Don't forget that we will be posting different articles with our amazing team of writers on upandadamlive.com. That's sort of our one-stop shop. You can go to upandadamlive.com and see what we're talking about for the week. You can see our latest videos that pop up. You can see right here the latest video that comes up with the podcast, like from the vault, like Jason was telling you before. You can catch our writers and get to meet them yourselves. And then you can see down here at the bottom, like where you can click on, I don't know, SEAGRASS, and it just pops up and, you know, our sponsors. So we have so many things coming up. We are leaving on Wednesday. I have to figure out what the fuck I'm wearing. I got to go clothes shopping, and Jason has some to put up for the podcast. So we love you guys. I'm going to put up polls. We have more videos on both channels. Jason, do you have any closing remarks?
No, you did it all.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you.
Have a good week. Bye.